Over 90% of global trade moves by sea, making the world's oceans the lifeblood of our interconnected economy. Every day, thousands of ships crisscross the globe, carrying everything from electronics and cars to food and raw materials. For more than a century, the Panama Canal has been the linchpin of this system, serving as a vital shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Its locks have enabled faster, more efficient trade, transforming global commerce and shaping the fortunes of nations. But now, a new contender is emerging on the horizon, a massive $50 billion canal project in Nicaragua, with significant backing from China. This ambitious endeavor aims to carve a new path through Central America, rivaling the historic Panama Canal. This isn't just about building a canal, it's about shifting global power and influence. The stakes are enormous, and the implications reach far beyond shipping. The proposed Nicaragua Canal would be wider, deeper, and significantly longer than Panama's, cutting through the heart of Central America and opening the door to even larger ships that can't fit through Panama's locks. The scale of this project is staggering, involving vast stretches of land, enormous engineering challenges, and billions of dollars in investment. It signals China's intent to reshape global trade routes, secure its own supply lines, and expand its influence in the Americas. For the United States, which long held sway over the Panama Canal and the region, this development represents a direct challenge to its traditional dominance and strategic interests in the Western Hemisphere. If China gains control over a new canal, it would secure a powerful foothold in the Americas, potentially shifting the balance of power and influence in global trade and geopolitics. The world is watching closely, as this project could redefine global supply chains, impact Panama's economy, and raise major environmental and social questions for the region's people and ecosystems. The answers to these questions will shape international trade, economic alliances, and environmental policy for generations to come. Today, we dive deep into the ambitions, risks, and global stakes of the Nicaragua Canal, exploring what it means for the future of trade, the environment, and the balance of power. The future of maritime trade may be about to change forever, and the world is holding its breath to see what happens next. The Nicaragua Canal would stretch an astonishing 278 kilometers, an engineering feat that would carve a new path across the heart of Central America. That's over 3 times the length of the iconic Panama Canal, making it one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects ever conceived in the region. The canal's journey would begin near the port city of Bluefields on the Atlantic coast, slicing through dense rainforests, fragile wetlands, and the vast expanse of Lake Nicaragua, the largest freshwater lake in Central America, before finally reaching the Pacific Ocean. Unlike the Panama Canal, this new waterway is designed to be much wider and deeper, capable of accommodating the world's largest container ships, vessels so massive they can't fit through Panama's locks. The $50 billion master plan doesn't stop at the canal itself. It envisions a network of new infrastructure, state-of-the-art ports on both coasts, a major international airport, and a sprawling free trade zone to attract global business and investment. Spearheaded by the HKND Group, a company with deep Chinese connections, the project is pitched as a transformative leap that could turn Nicaragua into a vital global trade hub, linking East and West. Yet the challenges are daunting. The engineering hurdles are immense, and the environmental risks, especially to the delicate ecosystem of Lake Nicaragua, have sparked widespread concern and fierce local opposition. Issues of land rights, the displacement of rural communities, and questions of national sovereignty have become flashpoints, fueling protests and heated debates across the country. Still, the promise of economic transformation, new jobs, and a surge of Chinese investment keeps the dream alive for many, despite the controversy. This is more than just a canal. It's a bold attempt to create a new center of commerce and opportunity in the Americas, reshaping trade routes for generations to come. The stakes are incredibly high, and the eyes of the world are fixed on Nicaragua as it stands at this historic crossroads. The question remains, can Nicaragua overcome the obstacles and truly become the next global crossroads for trade and commerce? Building the Nicaragua Canal would be an engineering feat and a massive gamble. The route climbs 34 meters to Lake Nicaragua, requiring enormous locks to lift and lower ships. Dredging a deep channel across the lake for over 100 kilometers is a colossal task, with huge environmental implications. The project would move 5 billion cubic meters of earth, 10 times more than the Panama Canal expansion. Powering the locks and infrastructure would demand new power plants and vast resources. The locks would consume huge amounts of fresh water, raising concerns for Lake Nicaragua's future. Everything must work flawlessly to keep billions in cargo moving year-round. The scale is unprecedented, but so are the risks. Can such a project succeed without catastrophic costs? The Panama Canal has been the backbone of global trade since 1914. Its 2016 expansion doubled capacity, allowing larger Neo-Panamax ships to pass. In 2023, it handled over 500 million tons of cargo, serving 160 countries and 1,700 ports. The U.S. is its biggest user, relying on the canal for vital trade routes. But Panama faces limits, even after expansion. The largest ships can't fit, and droughts threaten operations. Water shortages have forced transit restrictions, exposing vulnerabilities. Now, with a rival canal on the horizon, Panama's dominance is under threat. The stage is set for a new era of competition in global shipping. How do these two monumental canal projects truly stack up against each other? Let's break down the key differences and what they could mean for the future of global shipping. The proposed Nicaragua Canal would stretch over 3 times the length of the Panama Canal, making it one of the longest man-made waterways in the world. While this means ships would spend more time in transit, the canal's sheer size would allow for a much greater volume of traffic and larger vessels to pass through simultaneously. Unlike Panama, which is limited to ships of about 180,000 deadweight tons, the Nicaragua Canal could accommodate megaships up to 400,000 deadweight tons, more than double the capacity. This opens the door for the world's largest bulk carriers and container ships, which are currently too big for Panama. Ownership and funding models also differ sharply. The Panama Canal is state-owned, with its revenues directly supporting the Panamanian economy and public services. In contrast, the Nicaragua Canal would be a public-private partnership, with significant investment and influence from Chinese companies and financiers, potentially shifting regional power dynamics. The Nicaraguan vision goes beyond just a canal. It aims to create a vast economic ecosystem, including new deep-water ports, expansive free trade zones, and industrial complexes along the route, transforming the region into a major global trade hub. For shipping companies, the decision between the two canals will come down to a careful balance of time, cost, and the size of their vessels. Larger ships may favor Nicaragua, while smaller, faster transits may stick with Panama. Panama's shorter, well-established route remains highly attractive for most global shippers, but the Nicaragua Canal could unlock entirely new possibilities for megavessels and bulk cargoes that have never before crossed Central America. For example, a Valemax carrier transporting iron ore from Brazil to China could save weeks of travel time by using the Nicaragua Canal, dramatically improving efficiency and reducing costs for major exporters. With both canals operating in close proximity, fierce competition is inevitable. This rivalry could drive down tolls, force both operators to innovate, and ultimately shift global shipping patterns as companies seek the best deals. U.S. East Coast to Asia routes, in particular, could see significant time and fuel savings, making both canals critical arteries for trans-Pacific trade. The existence of a second canal would give shipping companies unprecedented leverage in negotiations, allowing them to choose routes that best fit their needs and budgets. This rivalry between the two canals could fundamentally reshape the economics of global trade, influencing everything from shipping rates to the location of future ports and logistics hubs. As these two giants compete, the world's shipping map may never look the same again, ushering in a new era for international commerce and maritime logistics. China's investment in the Nicaragua Canal is about far more than trade. It's a key piece of the Belt and Road Initiative, expanding China's influence in the Americas. Controlling a major waterway here would be a geopolitical coup, challenging U.S. dominance. For China, it's about securing resources, oil, gas, iron ore, from Latin America, and bypassing the Panama Canal's choke point. The canal is also a tool of infrastructure diplomacy, building economic ties and political leverage in the region. For Nicaragua, the promise of jobs and investment is irresistible. For China, it's a chance to showcase its engineering might and global ambitions. Just as the Panama Canal symbolized U.S. power, the Nicaragua Canal could become a monument to China's rise. It's a bold move in the new great game of global influence. A second canal in Central America would send shockwaves through global shipping. The Nicaragua Canal would create new, faster routes for the world's largest ships, slashing travel time and costs. Ports worldwide would need to upgrade or risk losing business to those that can handle mega vessels. The Suez Canal would face new competition, and a price war on tolls could erupt. Shipping rates could fall, benefiting cargo owners, but squeezing canal operators. Entire industries might shift, with new manufacturing hubs emerging closer to the Atlantic. The canal could spark a realignment of global supply chains, changing where goods are made and shipped. It's not just a shortcut, it's a catalyst for a new era in trade. The world's logistics map could be redrawn overnight. For Panama, a rival canal is an existential threat. The canal is the heart of its economy, funding government programs and employing thousands. Losing traffic to Nicaragua could devastate Panama's finances and its logistics sector. Officials downplay the risk, but behind the scenes, concern runs deep. Experts warn that even the prospect of a new canal could deter investment in Panama. The ripple effects would reach banking, insurance, and legal services built around the canal. Diversifying away from canal dependence would be a massive challenge. Panama faces an uncertain future as the shadow of a new canal looms. The Nicaragua Canal is a $50 billion gamble that could upend global trade. Backed by China, it promises to handle ships Panama can't and to secure a new trade route in the Americas. The engineering is daunting, with huge environmental and political risks. For Panama, the threat is real. Its status as the region's logistics hub is at stake. For China, it's a strategic play for influence and resource security. The project's fate is uncertain, but its impact is already being felt. The world must now consider a future where the old choke points are no longer the only options. Will the next era of maritime trade be defined by cooperation, or by a new rivalry of competing canals?